today, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the worst makeup that I personally tried in 2025, and I tried over 330 products. So these are truly bottom of the barrel products. Products that in no circumstance would I recommend you ever to pick up. Now, my little disclaimer here, honestly, I feel like it's hard to create bad makeup nowadays. Of the 330 products, like this is the only stuff where I'm like, it is not good, because it's easy to create good makeup. So it's actually quite hard to create bad makeup. So these, I'm like looking at my table and I'm like, I'm really not looking forward to getting these products on my face. But of course, as always, this is just my opinion. I have dry skin. These products maybe don't work with my techniques, what I'm looking for with products. That's the thing. That's why so many makeup channels exist, because everybody has different opinions. But if you care about my opinion, I really don't like these products. Hey, and if you love any of these products, feel free. Let me know down below if you enjoy any of these. But I have not had a good time with these products. But if you do want to see products that I do recommend, I did already upload the best makeup of 2025, which is a much larger video because I like a lot of things, okay? But these ones were ones that stuck in my head that I'm like, these are really, really bad. So, are you gonna get spicy, Morgan, today? I don't know, because I've only filmed the intro and I'm already out of breath. Ugh, I don't know. The baby's in my ribs right now. Little pregnancy update. I'm like 34 weeks and some change, so we're getting down to the wire here. And girl, I'm getting more uncomfortable by the day. So that's the update. All right, I'm just avoiding the inevitable. Let's get these terrible products on my face. Feel free to fight me in the comments. I don't really care. I don't like these products. Okay, so first let's start off with a couple of different foundation products, which are very similar products, and I don't know, maybe they were made in the same factory. They're both like similarly horrible. So the first one that I have, this one I mentioned in the first half of the year, and it really has stuck on to that. This is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Tinted Foundation Balm. This is one of the pickiest products I've ever used with what base you pair it with. I find that if my moisturizer has not fully sunk in for like an hour plus, that this foundation is going to pale. Right now, it actually might sit nicely on my skin because I haven't put on any skincare in a couple hours. I just got back from a doctor's appointment, so there's nothing for it to disagree with. But best believe, if I've prepped my skin, it's not going to like this product. It also sits on top of my skin. It doesn't look as nice. And at first when I used this product, I didn't really see how bad it was because I used it on its own. But when I started doing side-by-side comparisons with other foundations I enjoyed, I began to notice how this sat on top of the skin. So it wasn't something that I detected right away. The only thing that I detected really was how picky it was with bases. I want you to take a look at the texture here. It's just kind of attaching itself to dry patches and whatnot that don't exist. It's not a tragic look right now because, like I said, it's been a few hours since I've put on any skincare, but I should not have a product in my collection that doesn't work with any skincare or any base and is so picky. It makes it unusable. So we just don't like this one. It's just not a good performance. So if it doesn't work with my moisturizer, which my Kiehl's moisturizer is what I've been using lately, that one isn't picky with anything. If it's even picky with that, it's an issue, you know? Today's application though, it looks pretty good because the biggest red flag about it is how it doesn't agree with anything, and I have literally nothing on my skin. So it might be making me look like I'm a liar, but I hope you can take my word for it. I'm also not going for a bad makeup day today. If we can make this look presentable, I'm not going to be mad about it. But regardless, there's so much better out there, so don't pick this up. The next product that I have is another foundation stick. This one is the Essence foundation stick, and this came out with a crazy color range. Like, I feel like there was hundreds of colors in this range. My issue with this one is it sits on top of the skin. You can even see as I'm applying it, it's just not looking smooth at all. I did wipe my brush in between applications. I have a bad makeup day. I have a bad skin day every time I wear this foundation. Since I got done with this, with it being in my speed reviews drawer, let it be known I have not reached for this once. This makes the ColourPop look good. That's how bad this one is. Like, if for some reason you were in a situation where you were in between the two products that I'm mentioning, pick up the ColourPop one. Run far, far away from this Essence one. This Essence one is arguably the worst foundation that I've put on my face this year. It is an affordable product, but it's not even worth how affordable Essence can be. And Essence has some great products in their range. We already know that. This one, in my opinion, was a major, major fail for me. It just, look at how this is sitting on the skin. It's not smooth at all. It's attaching to dry patches that I can assure you really aren't there, that no other foundation is going to detect. It's literally even making the ColourPop foundation look really smooth. So guess what? We can get a normal foundation to look smoother. So this one, you can really see how awful this is making my skin look. It's just looking textured. It's looking like there's tons of pores, tons of dry patches, and that is just simply not the case. Don't buy this. Actually, if I dislike you, if I hate you, maybe buy this. Recommend to your enemies, you know? It's that kind of product. But you guys, no, what is this? What is this? So the next product I have is from Catrice. This is the Under Eye Brightener Liquid. This is awful. Just watch. And again, Catrice is another one of those brands where they have such good affordable products, but sometimes there's just a miss, and this is one of them. First of all, it has this awful sponge packaging, which, wait, I just talked trash. It was because I had it. I didn't open it the right way. But anyways, just watch it disappear. It pretty much does nothing. I'm only going to put it on one side because I do have another concealer that I'm going to put on. But this is a pointless product. It's just another step. And if I'm being honest, the way that it sits on the under eyes, it just emphasizes the dryness and the fine lines of the under eyes. So instead of concealing or brightening, it really just highlights stuff that we don't want it to highlight. So it's an extra step that does nothing besides make the under eyes look unflattering. So this is literally the opposite purpose of makeup is what this does. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Look at how scaly this is. Ugh, what a terrible, terrible product. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's stop right there. I don't think any words are needed for that. You just saw it. Now, I'm not hopeful that this next product is going to fix what just happened, but it's a shame because these were a very, very viral product from L'Oreal, but I just hated these. These are the L'Oreal Skin Ink. They're like supposed to be you can use for foundation or concealer. I prefer neither. Very, very liquidy, so make sure you shake it really well. The idea of this, I just feel like it had so much potential, but it is just simply too thin of a product that it runs right into the fine lines of the face. If you don't have poreless, baby smooth skin, I just don't recommend this product for you. Like, do you see how awful that's sitting? And for some reason it's peeling. Oh, the reason it's peeling is because of that ColourPop skin stick. I told you, it's peeling on this side because I have the ColourPop on this side. Ay, ay, ay. Anyways, it just looks really textured wherever I just blended it out. It's a product that runs everywhere. I don't know if it can fix what this Catrice is doing, the under eye brightener. I said I was going to attempt to make this makeup somewhat presentable that I could wear for the rest of the day. Because you can always make bad products work, but like, nope, I'm not feeling we're going in that direction today. Trying to smooth everything out here. It's too thin. It just needs some body to it. Look at how awful and textured my under eyes now look. They look thirsty. Yeah. And this doesn't even look good as a foundation either. There were a lot of reviews of this and a lot of people loved it. Unfortunately, I cannot jump on board with that one. I don't like this one. Okay, I did attempt to make everything look better by putting on bronzer and blush, but we're gonna keep going. But I did put on products that I like to kind of balance out. But we are gonna set the face with something that unfortunately is gonna dry me out like I spent a week in the Sahara Desert. Okay. I hate this powder. So this is from Benefit. This is the Professional Matte and Blur Loose Setting Powder. Maybe if you have oily skin, you might have a better experience with this than me, but I can speak for somebody who has dry skin. This like sucks the actual life out of your face. At least mine. Mine loses life with this. Not to mention, this shade also darkens my under eyes. I cannot stand when a powder does that. It just changes the color in a way that I don't like. It's not the worst, but look at that. It just made my under eye dark yellow, and this is the actual like translucent shade. And you know what surprises me? This is made in Italy. And obviously, where a product is made is definitely not the end all be all. However, Italy creates some great powders. So I'm just shocked that this one makes me look so dark. So when it is applied, it doesn't really darken the under eyes right away. It almost oxidizes, which I find to be very, very strange. It doesn't almost oxidize, you guys. It does. So I'm going to keep it at a minimum, mostly in the T-zone. I don't really want to set in what we have going on anyways, but wherever it's applied, I find it just makes my skin look really dried. As it sits on the skin, it also oxidizes. I hate how it changes the color of my makeup. Powders take up a lot of space storage-wise, so I cannot wait to declutter this. The reason that I held on to this in my declutter was for this video today. So this is one that I'm like, you are just wasting some drawer space. But my under eyes look so thirsty right now. And it's not gonna get better. Okay, the next product that I have maybe isn't the worst thing I've ever put on my face, but for the price that I paid for it, it deserves some screen time in today's video because waste of my money. So this is from one of my favorite makeup brands, Dior. This is their Backstage Glow Maximizer palette, in particular the shade Frosted Opal Glow. Let me just show you something. Let me just show you the swatches. Now this year, they reformulated their highlighter palettes, as Dior has been, as you know, reformulating for years now. It just gives nothing. And you might be familiar with how the older Dior highlights used to swatch, and it used to like be juicy and glowy. And unfortunately, this looks like this on the face. It's just too much money, you guys. I'm gonna use this pink one right here. Like, I paid a luxury price point for this. No, this was one of the items I picked up during the Sephora savings event, and it's one of the items that I heavily regret. The undertones here are not very flattering on my skin tone either, but that I won't knock it for because that was a mistake. I should have known better, but it just looks chalky and dry and gives a whole lot of nothing. And if you are familiar with how good the Dior highlight formula has the potential to be, you would know to be disappointed in this palette. This is awful. Like poop emoji right here. What you see in the swatches is literally what you get on the face. They also have this horrible, super glittery highlight, which only looks pretty on the eyelid, which I can look past. But since I'm trash talking it, I might as well just throw that on top. Throw that onto the dog pile. Okay, and then the last complexion product that I have is from Huda Beauty. To no surprise, it is the Easy Bake Setting Spray. Look how nasty and disgusting my nozzle is. The idea of this product is that it is infused with powder, so it is also going to kind of simultaneously set your makeup. If you want a product that has this concept that actually works, Danessa Myricks, I think, had a much better execution of this style of product. So this one, the powder, I mean, you can see it's very clumpy. It doesn't really fully infuse into the makeup, into the liquid. So it comes out, just gonna leave it there. It comes out as splotches on the face. And so when you go to dry the big splotch on the face, it removes the makeup. This is like a makeup remover spray. I have had this sitting for a bit, and actually for like the first time ever, it's gonna make a liar out of me because there are no splotches to be seen. The makeup. So I can't really prove it, but if you see my initial reviews on this, and just like this in general, I hope you know. I'm not lying. I'm not putting it in here for fun. Ah, there we go. The nozzle got stuck a little bit. So right here we have some water drops. If I were to take a sponge right now and try to press it in, it would remove my makeup. But I'm going to leave it at that. I actually got a very rare good application with this, so I'm just going to stop there. But Makeup Ruiner, would absolutely never repurchase this again, ever, ever. And I'm just looking at my makeup right now. I'm acting very salty right now. It really is not that deep, I promise you. I'm just happy I can tell you what doesn't work. But I'm looking at my makeup right now. My under eyes are turning like orange. And then with the contrast of the color of the Dior, I'm looking a bit crazy. Okay, but let's go ahead. Let's keep moving on to the eye portion now. I should at this point already have up my eyeshadow palette rankings, but there were two eyeshadows in particular that I feel scammed by because of the price point here. So this was the last ranking eyeshadow palette, the worst palette that I tried this year. This is from Dior. This is the Pink Mania limited edition eyeshadow palette. So I used to collect Dior limited edition palettes, makeup in general, but I found, especially with the eyeshadow palettes, that they were just not consistently good quality for the price point that you pay, so I stopped. And then I saw this Color Story, and I thought it would make for a beautiful pastel, springy vibe if executed well. Unfortunately, it was not. Let me swatch this. You see all of these shimmer shades? They look virtually the same on the eyelid. This is the only shade to add any sort of difference between the looks. Does this look like what a Dior palette should look like? Is this swatching like a Dior palette should swatch? If you answered yes, get out of here. Because seriously, what? I'm not going to apply it because there's no point. You're not going to see anything. Like when I wear this, right, you put this all over the crease to get something, some depth. But whatever shimmer you put on your eyelid, they all look the same. This is a 5-pan eyeshadow palette with one only possible look. I'm devastated by this. I was really upset when I purchased that because I felt like I was giving Dior another chance, and they just blew it. They blew it. This next one I did purchase recently from the Sephora sale, and it did take a little bit of time for me to come to terms that I don't like this, but it is a $95 quad, so I have to put it in this video. This is from Tom Ford, and it is gorgeous. This is the Olive Smoke Quad. The swatches of this are unbelievably good. Unlike the Dior, where as soon as you swatch it, you just know it's not going to be it. This one will have you fooled. But I find that, unfortunately, this turns to mush on my eyes. It does not last. Despite how beautiful and creamy it feels, how beautiful it swatches, even how beautiful it first applies, it does not have the longevity. It fades super duper fast. I'm just putting on a little bit of eye primer to prep for the lovely eye products I have planned for today. But the shadows here, they kind of mush together. They don't set down. They're almost too creamy. And then they fade away throughout the day. So that beautiful look that I start with is never the look that I have at the end of the day. So I have eyelids that are somewhat dry. Like, I don't have issues with creasing really, unless it's not a good product. And I can only imagine if you have oily eyelids, what a mess this palette could be. So it's gonna look good right now. I'm just putting a little bit of a crease color in, but it's just one of those products where it doesn't have the wear. And for $95 for a 4-pan eyeshadow palette, I had to put it in this video because that is an abomination, okay? An abomination. Speaking of bad wear time, this is probably the worst wear time ever I've experienced on an eye product, which is a shame because I thought these sounded really cool. So these are from Buxom. They are the Flip Side Liner and Shadow Duos. So the concept of these is one side is a little powder that you put all over your eyelid, and then the other side is a eyeliner, and they're meant to create a look. It's a pre-curated look, and I love the idea of that, but unfortunately the execution of this wasn't there. So I'll use the shade Totally Taupe. So let me show you. The powder product is in the cap. So I find that I have to keep going back and forth, and you just dry onto the eyelid like so, right? It just doesn't give what I need it to give. I have to go back. It's not even that impactful on the eyelid, nor that flattering. Back in I go. I just don't see, if you use this every day, how is this lasting? I feel like there has to be very little product here. And it's kind of rough on the eyelid, if I'm being honest. Okay, anyways, we got some on the eyelid. Just gonna quickly soften that. And now I'm going into the eyeliner, which I like the eyeliner, honestly. I like how this is a pre-curated look for you. I don't have much to say about the liner. Kind of fun. We're doing a gray look today. Liner side is fine. It is the powder side that is really dumb. And to finish things off, me not liking the application is one thing, but I also don't like the wear time on this. So my eyes do crease with this. And like I said, my eyes rarely crease with makeup. And the powder is just going to disappear. It's going to mush in with the liner. My makeup will not look like this at the end of the day. This has no wear time, even when I use an eyeshadow primer. It just bunches up, gets creasy, fades away. Everything we don't want our eye makeup to do. So the performance, unfortunately, for these were just not there. The next product that I have is another eye topper situation. I don't even really want to show you the swatches because you might be tempted. These swatch well, but I am truly not a fan of these Urban Decay Glazed Liquid Shadows. The way that I would describe them is crunchy and crackly. They do not layer over themselves very well. We'll use the shade Silver Spooning. And let's start off with the packaging here. It's this big old brush, and you have to really make sure you shake it up well to ensure that you get some product on the brush. But I just feel like I'm always having to dip back in. And the best way to get a good application with this, less is seriously more. And work fast before this dries. Seriously, help yourself with this. I'm just using my finger to blend it out. Okay, once this dries, I absolutely cannot layer anything more or it will get super crackly. And there are so many good lid topper liquid formulas out there that this one, there's no excuse for it to be how it is and perform how it does. So you can get these to look fine, don't get me wrong, but I just know for the quality that I expect at Urban Decay's price point and know what these labs can do, this, I don't know how it's been so successful in sales because it's crackly. It looks dry and it doesn't layer well. So anyways, I'm gonna finish my eyes. I'm just gonna put a little bit more liner on the bottom and some mascara. But the next product that I wanted to mention, I don't have. It's a mascara. I get rid of those pretty quickly. But it's the Benefit Bad Gal Bounce Mascara. And I've overused this joke. But when it was in my collection and I was using it, it bounces right off of your lashes. So this is one of the flakiest mascaras I have ever used. Whenever I use it, I have black snow, black dots all over my under eyes. So that was easily the worst mascara I tried this year. I'm a little picky when it comes to mascaras. I don't have much to work with, so a lot of mascaras just are meh on me. But this one was really, really bad. I give most mascaras the benefit of the doubt because the canvas here isn't great, but that one flakes everywhere. One of the worst mascaras. Okay, let's say with a good mascara, we might be able to save this look a little bit. I'm just sitting here laughing so hard at what this powder has done to my under eyes. They're literally orange. I said I was trying to make a somewhat presentable look today, and we're just not going to get there. But we're going to move on to the lips category, which, if you've been watching my videos, you know I feel like the lips category sucked this year. I was so overloaded with those lip balm, like the tube lip balms. Every brand, it's a rite of passage. They have to have one, and they're all the same. But anyways, let's go over the stuff I didn't like. Rhode. These are the peptide lip tints, lip shapes, and I know there was lots of controversy online, like people aren't applying them right, the intention of them, you aren't using them correctly. Listen, these look like terrible on my lips, and they don't set down. They have no longevity. They look messy on my lips. I look like I don't know how to apply makeup. Especially when I use a lighter color, it just looks like it's all over my face because it doesn't give a defined edge. And I don't know, my lips are small. I think it does look good on girls with lip filler, that little bit more of a blurred edge. But me with my small lips, it makes my face, my lips look very messy with the blurred edge. I am using the deepest shade that I have, Twist, which helps. But whenever I use the lighter shade, you see, it just looks messy whenever I wear this. I will say the way that I've gotten use out of this is to use these as lipsticks, which they're fine to cover all over the lips, but on the edge of my lips, it's just a mess and they don't last. So for me, there's really no purpose to these. Of course, I've seen Hailey Bieber just lightly put it on the outside of her lips and like smudge it out with her finger, and she looks gorgeous. But I am not Hailey Bieber. I'm just I'm an average girl on the streets, and no, this looks messy. It's not a very good product for me. The next product that I have are the Dior Lip Glow Butters. I'll admit, the formula on this is fine. It's just Claire's packaging. You pay so much for this little doodad right here, but really, there's nothing too special about this formula. There are drugstore lip butter balms that have good performance similar to this. It's not bad. It is not a bad lip product, so don't fight me on that. But what I'm saying is you get the plainest packaging, and let's be honest, if you're purchasing Dior, you're also purchasing for the experience, for the packaging, and you don't get that with this. And the formula that's inside is so basic. Every brand has a formula that is good like this. It's not a hard formula to create. So it's not a bad formula, but I just paid too much for it and I'm very mad. I hold a grudge. That's what this says. I have a grudge that I picked up 2 shades of this. And also they're very, very sheer. Now this particular shade that I have, Lychee, is one of the few that is not. But the other shade I have is basically clear. And I know I did not pay the amount that I paid for a clear one of these. Thank goodness the Lychee actually gives some color. But another similar style product are the Milk Makeup Balmades, and these are makeup removers. Another similar review in that there are so many shades in the range, but all of them are actually clear. You see? Peachy? No, it's just clear. And these are really, really liquidy, very, very wet and slippery, which is why if I have anything underneath, this wipes right off with it. This has no lasting power on the lips because they're so slippery. There's no grip on the lips. And then whatever lipstick or lip liner I have underneath, it comes off right with this in 10 minutes. I mean, this is a much worse formula than the Dior, so I'm not a fan of this. Removes my lip makeup, literally. Has no color. Comes off in like 5 minutes. You can see it's just, I mean, I know I'm wiping it off, but it's making it very, very easy for me. You see, this road just makes my lips look messy, I swear, especially on my top lip. All right, last product that I have, and then we can be positive again. This is from MAC. This is a new formula that they launched this year. This is their Lip Glass Air non-sticky glosses. I'm not a fan of this formula. I've already decluttered the other colors that I have in this formula because I just know I'm not a fan. So this lip gloss is too thin, if you ask me. I know it's called the Air formula. I specifically chose to keep this shade so you can see a little bit of how truly it sits on the lips. It does not fill in the lines of the lips at all. It sinks right in, which I like a gloss that's a little thicker and fills in the lines of the lips because that makes the lips look juicier and more plump. But with this being so watery and thin, it goes right into the fine lines of those lips, which is the exact opposite of what I'm looking for. And I think they tried to make a point that these are not sticky at all, where it's almost like the milk, where it's just a little bit too thin, so it actually has little to no longevity. I find that this formula sticks to the dry patches of the lips. So, you know, lip gloss, these lip balms, they're not formulas that are hard to execute. They are formulas that are very easy to just have a fine formulation. It might not stand out, but you know, you can make lip formulas work. And this one, and in particular, the Milk, the MAC, the Road, these are not easy to use formulas, easy to make look nice. You have to really work around them. And so that's why I chose these lip products to be worst of the year, because it's okay if a lip product is meh, that doesn't make it bad, but these ones I actually consider bad, except for the Dior. Just I had a grudge with that one. So I was hoping I would be able to walk away with a decent looking look at the end of this and making the products work. And unfortunately, we were unable to do that. My skin looks terrible. My under eyes look dry. My under eyes have also oxidized. The gray eyeliner is already starting to fade, and I hate my lip products. So, needless to say, I did a good job of selecting some of the worst makeup of 2025 because this is just bad. So, as somebody who's tried 330 of the newest products that hit the market this year, these are the products that absolutely disappointed me, that absolutely I think are a waste of money, and I would not recommend to you guys. So, of course, like I said in the beginning, this is just my opinion, but I stand on it. So if you have yours, feel free to let me know down below in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you're looking for something more positive, of course, check out my favorites video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. I wish I could say this was fun, but I'm excited to get this off of my face.
It's delicious.